Hello, good evening and welcome to Business here on Joy News Prime with me, Beverly Broom. We begin with the breaking news as the Chamber of Independent Power Producers of Ghana has suspended the planned shutdown of power plants following fruitful engagements with the Electricity Company of Ghana. The Chamber had in a memo directed its members to shut down their plants from July 1 to July 8th if the government fails to pay 30% of the $1.73 billion owed them. But according to a statement released by the Chamber on Friday, just a few minutes ago, the IPPs have agreed to keep operating their power plants after July 1, 2023. Now, as part of the understanding reached, all the IPPs have received an offer of payments from ECG to enable them to operate in the interim, thereby providing the government of Ghana and ECG the needed grace period to address the outstanding arrears in the energy sector and to meet their contractual obligations. You can read more of that story on myjoyonline.com. Now, moving on, a perception research conducted by think tank Institute for Liberty and Policy Innovation has revealed that the Bank of Ghana cannot absolve themselves from the collapse of 420 financial institutions between 2017 and 2018. The research conducted between August and November 2022 gathered information from the public on their perception on government's wasteful spending from 2014 to 2021. Executive Director of the Institute for Liberty and Policy Innovation, Peter Bismarck-Kofi, disclosed this at the launch of the Government Waste Report at Tema in the Greater Accra region.
420 financial institutions made up of 9 banks, 23 savings and loans, 347 microfinance companies, 39 microcredit companies, 1 remittance company and a leasing company had their licenses revoked between 2017 and 2018. According to government, the banking sector cleanup was to ensure orderly exit of insolvent institutions to protect deposited funds as well as safety and soundness of the sector. This decision was, however, greeted with discontent as it led to loss of jobs. The research by Institute for Liberty and Policy Innovation indicates Ghanaians are not happy over the cleanup. 2,000 respondents took part in the questionnaire-based poll that used digital and online platforms, including Ilapi website, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and WhatsApp, with volunteers from all 16 regions engaged to assist. Government is said to have spent over 25 billion Ghana cedis on the exercise to protect 4.6 million deposited funds, despite citing 11.7 billion cedis in the 2020 budget statement for the same exercise. 77.5% of the 2,000 respondents were of the view that government wasted taxes on the collapse of the banks due to lack of transparency and accountability. Peter Bismarck-Kofi is the Executive Director, Institute for Liberty and Policy Innovation.
We only have political appointments at BoG, whereas the existing directors still stay there. So it's important that we have terms and well-structured units at the BoG to ensure that these banks are doing the right thing, because there are structures already. Because if BoG comes to tell me that bank had a license in a dubious way, and those who supervise the bank to get the dubious license are still in position, I mean, it raises questions. The future, as I say, is not bleak. The insurance sector is not that strong enough. That is why everything is resting on the banks, because insurance, you need basically about 130,000 Ghana cedis to run an insurance company. So for banks to stand strong against IMF conditionalities, it's all about being liquid.
Meanwhile, Peter Bismarck-Kofi says it will be in government's interest to protect local investors.
Investment into Ghana is huge, apart from South Africa and Nigeria, because of the oil and gold. So if the government will focus more on attracting FDIs and protecting local investors. See, the challenge is that we don't protect local investors. We look more into foreign investors. So the foreign investors own the banks here, they make profits, they repatriate them. Then the local investors do not get that protection of their funds. So, and every financial sector lies on the on huge deposits of local investors. You and I, we are all investors because we all have bank accounts. So if we are not protected as local investors and we allow only the FDIs to direct the path of our economy, when the monies are sent back to their countries, that's where you see the inflation and the the cedi depreciation coming in.
The research revealed government had wasted 73 billion Ghana cedis on some programs and key decisions, which include the banking sector cleanup.
Now, shareholders of GCB Bank PLC have authorized directors of the bank to raise additional equity capital of 1 billion cedis through a renounceable rights issue to procure additional listing of issued ordinary shares on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Speaking at the bank's 29th annual general meeting, Managing Director of the bank, Kofi Adomako, said the move is to seek capital support to develop a robust and comprehensive capital plan. There's more in this report.
Following the adverse impact of the domestic debt exchange program, GCB Bank PLC recorded a loss before tax of 743.5 million cedis in 2022 compared to a profit before tax of 832 million cedis in the prior year. This loss was largely due to the impairment loss on investment in government securities of 1.8 billion cedis owing to the domestic debt exchange program. As a result, at the 29th annual general meeting of the bank, shareholders have authorized directors of the bank to raise additional equity capital of 1 billion cedis through a renounceable rights issue on the Ghana Stock Exchange to boost the earnings generation capacity of the bank through non-funded sources. Kofi Adomako is managing director of the bank.
It's a difficult time, and I do appreciate what our shareholders have done is they've shown and made a vote of confidence in the bank, in the management and in the board. It's a difficult time for anybody to put investment in a financial institution at this particular point in time. And we are seeking to raise 1 billion. We got a resounding support. We got resounding support to do that. It's going to strengthen the bank. It's going to enable us also meet our regulatory requirements. It's going to strengthen our balance sheet, reposition the bank where it was before all of this. It's going to also enable us implement certain products.
He tells Joy Business, despite the impact of the domestic debt exchange program on its operations, he is optimistic of a positive turnaround in the next financial year.
The future is bright. Despite all of this, I am convinced, and my board is strongly behind me to pursue our strategic agenda, which is built on 3 key pillars. Okay, one of them, which has to do with revenue. Revenue growth is still on the agenda. Okay, so the future is very bright.
Meanwhile, the bank recorded a revenue of 3 billion cedis, representing an increase of 24% compared to that of 2021.
Now, away from the banking sector, as part of efforts to accelerate economic growth and drive foreign exchange, the Ghana Shippers Authority has held a forum to educate importers and exporters on some of the country's trade agreements and how they can position themselves to take advantage of it. The forum, which was under the theme Facilitating Shipments under Ghana's Preferential Trade Agreements, saw various importers and exporters from different sectors participate. Trade facilitation agencies have been advised to put in place programs and devise policies that would increase exports, as it is key to foreign exchange earnings and a driver of economic growth. It is on the back of this that the Ghana Shippers Authority held its Exporters Forum to interact with importers and exporters and expose them to some of Ghana's trade agreements. Fred Isiedu Date is the head of freights and logistics at the Ghana Shippers Authority.
Quite understandably, government has taken some initiative in negotiating some trade agreements that exporters need to take advantage of. Surprisingly, though, a number of our exporters are not up to speed, with these available opportunities. And consequently, as Ghana Shippers Authority, which is mandated to promote and protect the interests of shippers, and by shippers we mean importers and exporters, we thought that it's appropriate to create a forum, bring them all together, walk them through the available preferential treatments that are in the various agreements.
Some exporters who spoke to Joy Business expressed their dissatisfaction with the unfavorable conditions associated with trading activities in the country.
The shipping lines, they stay too much. Assuming they say they take maybe 1 month to America, it takes maybe 6 weeks. And before it goes, everything goes bad. And because of high perishable, no insurance we take up our this thing. If you want to take insurance, they say no because of the high perishable.
I lost $31,000 about 8 years ago just because my goods delayed. This is an exhibition that I'm attending in someone's country. I have to, if I miss the deadline, I have to put my goods in a container, in a storage facility. In US, by that time, I was paying $700 a month. And you can imagine waiting for another exhibition, paying $700. By the time you realize those goods, you have to auction it. My goods, personally, my goods were auctioned.
Now, as part of efforts to support small and medium-scale enterprises, the West Africa Competitiveness Program and the Ghana Export Promotions Authority organized a Made in West Africa exhibition to push for the patronage of Made in Ghana goods. According to the Chief Technical Advisor for the West Africa Competitiveness Program, Dr. Charles Kwame Saki, the move is necessary to expand the operations of these entrepreneurs. He spoke to Joy Business at the second day of the event at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly.
At the exhibition, some 70 small and medium-scale enterprises drawn from Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, among other West African countries, converged to showcase their new products. Some of the SMEs at the event said such opportunity will provide an avenue for SMEs to increase awareness of the high-quality products in the sub-region and encourage sourcing of components and raw materials to support manufacturing.
If there's assistance from banks in helping us with getting better loans and lower interest rates, that could really help and boost most of the local businesses that exist in Ghana.
We are going back now knowing that there are markets out there for us, and we are up to date when it comes to packaging and everything that we are doing in Liberia. We are so grateful to UNIDO Grow 2 project for affording us this opportunity to come and explore with other entrepreneurs.
It's going nice. It's going okay. It's going smoothly. We are hoping today there will be more people to come and then probably ask more about.
Well, packaging is a very big challenge to us because most of the companies that we buy our packages from, sometimes you go and a particular one you use is not around, and it's difficult to get the same package. So you realize that over the time we change packages over and over and over. So
I've experienced a lot and I have learned a lot from this exhibition because some people have not heard about our product before. They come and they ask so many questions. You educate them so that they take your cards and flyers. They call next time. You will see they call. We are not just here to sell, but we're also here to promote our product.
On this part, Chief Technical Advisor for the West African Competitive Program said the exhibition would provide an avenue for SMEs to forge business partnerships to scale up exports to new markets, citing instances where some previous exhibitors had secured business deals to export to the United States and some European countries.
So the basic idea of this is to build competitiveness of SMEs to be able to compete with international standards. So basically this project has been in operation since 2019. We've built capacity of a lot of SMEs, and now we are giving them the opportunity to exhibit their products to the wider world, to let people know what they have, the quality that they have, that their products can compete with any other SME or any other product produced by any multinational in terms of cosmetic products, in terms of cassava derivatives, and then fruits and mixes.
The 3-day event, which commenced on Thursday, June 29, will end on Saturday, July 1, 2023. This year's event was under the theme Building SMEs Competitiveness for Intra-African Trade.
Alliance Insurance Ghana Limited says it will deepen efforts to improve on its technology drive. According to the General Manager for Distribution, Jane Kitom, the firm is poised to provide quality services to customers. She spoke to Joy Business at the company's opening its new branch at Asylum Down in Accra.
We believe so much in the use of technology, but you bet that the use of technology can only happen if there are people behind the scenes who are handling customer requests and expectations. So to make customer experience seamless and to ensure that we are securing the future of our customers and the Ghanaian public, that's our mantra. We set up to have this new addition to the network of branches of Alliance Life Insurance. We will continue to delight our customers. We'll continue to innovate and ensure that we're using technology to make our service delivery as seamless as possible and to ensure that the expectations are met by paying claims very promptly, and as soon as they put the claims in, we as a company pride ourselves to find every reason to pay claims. So we'll continue to pay claims in a very timely manner. We'll continue to innovate as far as our processes are concerned and in developing products that meet the needs of customers and the insuring public. Okay, our products cut across the spectrum of society. We have products for the mid-income customers. We're talking about people preparing for the education of their wards. So we have the Alliance EduFlex plan, we have the Alliance STEM Life plan, we have the Alliance Farewell Plus plan, and we have our Wealth Planner plan. These are for the mid-income people.
Please, let's start.
We do some more stories now, and the president of the Greater Accra Markets Association, Mercy Afrowani-Jan, has called for the involvement of market associations in critical national planning to help build efficient food ecosystem and revitalize the economy, leading to the creation of jobs. There's more in this report.
According to Madam Mercy Afrowani-Jan, president of the Greater Accra Markets Association, market women play a critical role in the economic ecosystem, especially in the agriculture and food sustainability value chain. Yet, they are often ignored in deliberations regarding the value chain contributing to the gaps in the system. She says there is the need for market associations to be involved now.
Let me tell you, it's not like that. We have people in the market that are graduates, teachers, nurses. I, for instance, I was a teacher before coming into the market. So whatever they do, whatever decision they take, please, they must involve us. Because we have our methods and we also have our mindset, what we want. Maybe those in the offices, we don't want what they do, but we have a method that we can use to accept what we want.
Founder and CEO of DTI, Constance Elizabeth Swanika, on her part, said the theme for this year's conference is significant considering Ghana's current economic challenges.
So today's conference is the fourth of the Precision Quality Conference, where we bring together all our various stakeholders to really discuss issues around what the gaps around job creation in the country. Present here today, we have 4 vice chancellors. We have the president of the Greater Accra Regional Markets. We have captains of industry, policy makers, to really discuss, for me, what is the missing link around job creation. And I think the issue around why the average Ghanaian worker is unable to do things to meet international standards, it's not a matter of, just the usual talk, but what will action to really take the job creation agenda to the next stage. And so today's conference is really to discuss those issues.
Karen Obein's report, read to you.
Now, an opportunity to work in Anglo Gold Ashanti or Boase mine remains an aspiration of many residents, especially indigenes of Obuasi. But the introduction of an apprenticeship program by the mining giant to train the youth in its Adansi catchment with entrepreneurial and employable skills appear to have changed the narrative of residents wanting to work in the mines at all costs. My colleague Ohiming Teria has the rest of the story.
The suspension of operations at Angogod Ashanti Obuasi Mine, which until now employed thousands of residents, adversely affected the economy of Obuasi, bringing the economy on its knees. It explains the saying that Obuasi is the mine and the mine is Obuasi. But with the resuscitation of the mine, following the launch of the redevelopment program in 2019, life has since returned into normalcy. The dream of many of the teeming youth in Obuasi is to work in the mine to better their lots. But the introduction of the apprenticeship and entrepreneurial programs means residents waiting to be employed can acquire skills at no cost thanks to AGA's benevolence. This forms part of efforts by Angogod Ashanti to develop resilient and socio-economically self-sustaining communities in its catchment in the next 10 years. At least 230 youths in Obuasi are benefiting from this scheme as they receive training in dressmaking, welding and fabrication, among others. One of them is Vera Akomia Ajimai, a former restaurant attendant undergoing training in welding and fabrication.
Even if I didn't get chance in the mine to work, I can open my own shop and work there.
Besides the skills training, residents are taking advantage of the presence at the KNUST Obuasi campus to acquire knowledge that will position them to work in the mine in the future. A level 400 metallurgy student tells Joy News his desire to work at the mine influenced his decision to read his current course.
Growing up, I know a lot about galamsey and gold. And I know that as a child, I know that gold sells a lot and there's money in gold and all that. So growing up, I took interest in the gold because right in front of your house there is a gutter or whatever and people are just trying to dig gold from it. So I actually wanted to be a geological engineer, but then God knows best. I chose geology as first, metallurgy second, because metallurgy is also related to the gold processing. And then by God's grace I had a chance to pursue metallurgical engineering here in Obuasi campus, and I would say it has been a blessing a lot, and I've really gone to know a lot of people in the industry there at AGA.
Senior Sustainability Manager Emmanuel Bedu says AGA, through a 10-year socio-economic plan, intend to make Obuasi self-sustaining.
There is clearly something good that we are doing, and we are encouraged to continue to do those things we are doing, in particular implementing our 10-year socio-economic development plan. We want to remain focused. I believe the Obuasi people want to see development, they want to see improvement in lives. We definitely have a role to play in our own small way in contributing to rewriting the narrative.
From Obuasi, for Joy News, Ohiming Teria reporting.
And that's our package for tonight. For more business news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business. I am Beverly Broom. I leave you with news making headlines on the international front.
Appreciate the very essence of this health walk. So you can see it on your screen there. Health Walk 2023, health and happiness. Well, Mr. Ike, great. It's really good to at least have a little stretch of the body in this state of things in the country. So help us appreciate why you're putting together this event in the first place.
Thank you very much. I think that it's about time those of us who are aging, excuse me to say, I mean, most of us are in their homes, and lack of exercise, I mean, it's what we are looking at. And I believe that the old students, some of us decided to come together to, I mean, let some of the old students come out from their shelves, and then come together and network to, and then familiarize ourselves, and then to assist the school and all that. Yes. So, I mean, those are some of the reasons why we decided to come together as a fan club and then help the old student association and then the old students to keep fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of individuals who could